here. In a few minutes, you're going to hear from not just the 46th President of the United States, Joe Biden. You're also about to hear from the 47th President. And this is where they will continue to lead the state and this country. Prince George Community College, you are amazing. And I got to tell you, y'all, it also feels good to be here, particularly for the kind of announcement that we're about to make. Because as we've seen, elections have consequences. And the reason that we are about to hear the kind of announcements and the kind of work that have happened is because 4 years ago, we elected Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to be the leadership. And it means a lot being here because, what people might not know, I was born less than 20 miles away from where we're standing right now. And some of my earliest memories were right in these areas. And some of my most traumatic memories. Because when I was just 3 years old, I watched my father die in front of me because he didn't get the health care that he needed. I don't come from a family that's used to making policies. I come from a family that's used to suffering the consequences of it. And so to be here in this moment, I'm here to say that this moment right now, this is personal. And it's exciting to know that we have an administration who sees us and who fights for us. Because my father had a rare but a treatable virus. But when he went to the hospital, his clothes were disheveled and his face was unshaven. And when my mother showed up at the hospital, they asked my mother questions like, is your husband prone to exaggeration? And he was released from the hospital with the instructions to go home and get some rest. And hours after they released him, he died in home. So understanding that we have an obligation to make sure that our healthcare system never overlooks any of us. Knowing that for so many of us here today, we have been shaped by a brokenness of a healthcare system. That we know that we had fundamental work to do because in many cases, the issues that we're discussing, these are not academic. We do not need white papers to explain it because we have grown up in it. So today is an important moment because this is what we know. Today is a chance for us to go people to not have an opportunity to have basic insurance and know that basic insurance is something that is affordable. Today is the day to know that because of the remarkable leadership of President Biden and Vice President Harris, that this country continues to move forward, and we can and we will be a country that sees all of us and not just some of us. Because what this administration is doing, this administration is saying, we're not just going to pave over the cracks, we're going to fix the infrastructure. This is an administration that has both protected our basic rights and made sure that our basic rights are affordable. And that's what today is all about. That today we join a partnership to announce new efforts to make prescription drugs more affordable through the Inflation Reduction Act, which this administration got done. It is going to ensure that in these United States, that access to critical medication isn't a privilege that is established for a certain few. That access to quality education is not something that we use miserly in this country. But it needs to be something that we all can afford. And we know the movements of this administration that this is not the first and it won't be the last. And they know that in our Maryland, they have a full partner inside this world. To continue to be a full partner with this administration to protect, to defend, and to strengthen the basic rights that we cherish. That in our Maryland, we are working to lower drug costs through our first in the nation Prescription Drug Affordability Board. That in our Maryland, we are protecting critical investments in Medicaid. Maryland is leading the country in Medicaid re-enrollment, so Maryland families can have access to affordable health care no matter where they call home. And when we're talking about health care, that also includes the fact that in November we got a chance to vote, y'all. We got a referendum on the ballot. And that referendum will be to codify reproductive freedom in our Constitution, because this is health care. So together, we are going to build a future that is more affordable. We are going to build a future that is more accessible. And we are going to build a future that is more just. So whether you are a Marylander who calls Largo home, or Marlboro, we got to be weather here, huh? And no matter where you go home, you should be able to afford treatment for your arthritis. Whether you are a Marylander that happens to call Suitland home, you should not have to worry about choosing between rent and the drugs that you need that's going to support you after you have a stroke. That together we're going to build a future that people like my father won't be dreaming about. We're going to build a future where everybody's cared. And everybody will know that our future will be inconsistent.
I wasn't alerted to it.
That's our future. That's what we work for. And together with President Biden and future President Kamala Harris, we are going to build a future where we leave no one behind. God bless you guys.
Please welcome Judy Aiken.
My name is Judy Aiken. I'm a 70-year-old retired registered nurse from Portland, Maine. Here I live with my husband of 47 years, our 2 beagles, and our son and granddaughter live nearby. Also, for over 4 decades, I've battled psoriatic arthritis and psoriasis. That's taken a heavy toll on my body. But nothing to prepare me for the financial strain that came with the high cost of the drugs that of my life, including Enbrel, which comes with a staggering list price. Last year alone, I spent over $9,000 out of pocket just to afford this one drug. As a nurse, I counsel patients on the importance of taking their medications consistently. But I have to admit that sometimes I found myself unable to follow my own advice and have been known to skip a dose here and there. For years, it felt like no one was standing up to Big Pharma for patients like me. But thanks to President Biden and Vice President Harris's Inflation Reduction Act, that is changing. Now, Enbrel is one of the first 10 drugs up for Medicare negotiation. The thought of a lower list price for this essential medication feels like a lifeline. President Biden didn't just make a promise, he kept it. Because of the Biden-Harris administration's actions, my husband and I can finally breathe a little easier. That's why it is my great honor to introduce the team who leads the fight to put patients above profits. The President of the United States, Joe Biden, and Vice President. that we're being what to care about other people in a way that is about lifting them up and caring about their well-being. So Judy, we thank you so very much for being here. I want to recognize the incredible Governor Wes Moore. And Wes, I'm so thankful to you for all that you do in service to our nation.
Assembly to the United States Senate. And of course, I could speak all afternoon about the person that I am standing on the stage with. Because we know for far too long, far too many of our seniors have struggled to afford their medication. And as a result, seniors have been forced to spend their time trying to figure out how they are going to be able to fill a prescription like insulin based on the doctor's prescription, which is about saving their life, or whether they have to ration their pills to be able to make it stretch through a month. And why, we all know, but let's ask, why are prescription drugs so expensive? I will tell you. Well, one big reason is for years, Big Pharma has often inflated the price of life-saving medications. Often charging many times what it would cost to make just to increase their profits. And millions of Americans have suffered as a result. My entire career, I've worked to hold bad actors accountable and lower the cost of prescription drugs. As Attorney General of California, I took on pharmaceutical companies for deceptive marketing and illegally inflating the cost of drugs. And we won billions of dollars. As a United States Senator, I fought to pass laws that would make health care more affordable and accessible for all Americans. And as Vice President, together with Joe Biden, our President, we finally addressed the long
1973 as special senator of the Frank Church, State of Iowa. Folks, I have an incredible partner. Progress we made. She can make one hell of a president. Judy, thank you for sharing your story. It's a really one for far too many Americans. People like my dad used to lay in bed at night when they had Boston Insurance, the company he worked for, staring at the ceiling. Literally, you all have experienced it, you know people have experienced it. Wondering, what in God's name happened if my wife gets breast cancer? If I get sick? If my children get seriously ill? What happens? What in God's name, how do we pay for the drugs, prescription drugs? I'm serious, these are the discussions. You know it. We have to have enough insurance. We afford the medical bills. We'll have to sell the house and get a second mortgage. 30 discussions took place in my house and your house. Kamala and I both get it. You know it ain't just about health care. It's about your dignity. It's about your dignity. It's about peace of mind. It's about security. It's about taking care of your family. It's about giving folks just a little bit more breathing room. Look, I believe health care should be a right, not a privilege in America. Lower the extraordinary high prescription drug prices. Before I do, I want to thank Governor Russ Moore. I served in the Senate for 270 years. I know I look 40, but I'm a little bit older. The longest time I was too damn young because I was only 29 when we got elected. Now I'm too damn old. I'll tell you one thing in between. One of the finest, most decent men I've ever worked with. I think my human integrity, Ben Carter. Stand up. Does what he says and says what he does. Look, folks, also, you know, Nanette Garber, the longest time she tried to tell me she was Irish, and then Garber. She's a great friend, and she's one of the great leaders in this country. Martin Fume, where are you? Stand up, man. Never once wanted this man asked for help and I haven't got it. Not one single time. Thank you, God. And you're soon to be senator. How do I use the job with the county executive? I was a county official. They expect you to solve every problem. You don't have the authority to do it. You don't have any money. I'm looking forward. I told her I can't get in Florida against whichever helped the most. Along with members of my administration, I'll be able to Sarah, HHS. Let me say something. We're all thinking about my good friend, and he is a really good friend for a long time, Steny Hoyer. He represents the western shore of Delaware. We all think we're kids. We have that fight all the time. I wish him speedy recovery and understand he's doing one. This is a fight, all of us have been fighting for a long time, taking on big pharma. We pay more for prescription drugs. It's not hyperbole. We pay more for prescription drugs than any advanced nation in the world. I can take out an Air Force One and get a prescription from a drug company in America and fly you to Toronto, Canada, fly you to Paris, France, to Belfast, anywhere around the world, to get you the same prescription for the same company for 46% less than we paid for it here. Too many Americans can't afford the drugs they badly need for life and death. So they skip doses, cut pills in half, forego prescriptions entirely because the prescription drugs are totally unaffordable. The woman I you about met, the good she just met, paid $9,000, which is $900 a month. Guess what, man? She's going to pay nowhere near that. $9,000. She's going to pay, guess what? Beginning in January, every single prescription drug she has, including God's grace, she needs a really expensive drug medication. Maximum share estimate is $2,000. Just like the Department of Veterans Affairs. In fact, I'm reminded by staff today, one of the first major bills I worked on was in 1973. I co-sponsored legislation led by Senator Frank Church that let Medicare negotiate the cost of drugs. 1973, this starts going on. You know, VA pays, as they should, 50% less than Medicare because VA can negotiate the prices. For years, Big Pharma blocked Medicare from negotiating lower drug prices. As a consequence, they're able to maintain the exorbitant price increases that profits are uncalled for. Look, at this time, you finally beat Big Pharma. Not a single Republican voted for this bill, period. Not one in the entire Congress. The reason I say that not to make a political point about them, if they had gotten with us, and guess what? They wanted the guy we're running against. They want to get rid of this if it passed. They're fighting to get rid of it. No help for Republicans passing the Fisher legislation thanks to the tie-breaking vote of Kamala. It really matters. For example, take insulin needed to treat diabetes. A guy who invented insulin 100 years ago didn't put a patent on it because he wanted it to be available for everybody. He didn't even patent it. Guess what how much it costs those companies to make that insulin? $10. $10. That's God's truth. $10, number one. Number two, to package it, ship it, might get it up to $13. They were charged up to $400 a month. But now they can't charge more than $35 a month. That is, how many know anybody needs this for diabetes? Raise your hand. Okay, well, guess what? The next 3 months we got here, I'm not leaving here in common when she's president to make sure they don't get it done. Everybody should qualify for that voting. Everybody. I mean it. Well, that's not all. The same law we wrote means starting in January of this year, every senior in the United States of America, no matter what their cost of drugs, and like I said, some of these cancer drugs are $12,000 a year. Every single penny they spend, they never have to spend more than $2,000 a year. They're going to try to make sure everyone qualifies for that as well. Altogether, our reform not only saves lives, there's the point people aren't talking about. It saves the taxpayers billions of dollars. What we've done so far will save the taxpayers in the next 10 years $160 billion. Because they don't have to pay the exorbitant price that Medicare had to pay before. They're going to pay $35 and $400. Folks, and those savings all going to increase for American taxpayers. It matters. Look, that's not all the Inflation Reduction Act is. Last summer, I announced under that law Medicare is going to select, and it's always passed law, 10 drugs a year, going up to 22. You get every single drug every year. Drugs to everything from heart failure, blood clots, kidney disease, arthritis, blood conditions, more. And today, I'm proud to announce Medicare has reached an agreement with all manufacturers on all 10 drugs selected in the first round of negotiations. The lower prices for all 10 drugs will all effective January of 2026, not this January, next January. Negotiations about the price of these 10 drugs for Judy and others who are Medicare, nearly 40 to 80%, depending on which drug it is. Let me give you one example. Non-insulin diabetes drugs cost $530 a month. Some of you may know that. Guess what? It's now only going to cost $115. By the way, these new prices of 10 drugs are giving me $1.5 billion less out-of-pocket for patients to the drug companies. Lower copays for many of the 9 million seniors who take these drugs. That's not all. We're also saving American taxpayers because of the new changes. $6 billion a year. Medicare won't have to pay out. $6 billion a year. We use that for child care, health care, so much more. We're just getting started. Under the law I signed, Medicare can negotiate lower prices for another 15 drugs next year, 15 the following, and 20 after that, till every drug is covered. So, now. This is another really big deal. It means that Americans can save more money on life-saving medications they need and deserve. Great peace of mind. It's hard to explain. Tom and I are trying to keep fighting the lower the presumably middle class for everyone, not just me. It's a fight that we have to continue. But guess what? Surprise, surprise! Big Pharma doesn't want this to happen at all. The pharmaceutical industry last year spent $400 million lobbying the Congress to stop this. $400 million. Or if we go, they didn't get one Republican voting against it. They all voted for it. Republican allies stuck with it. The ability of the federal government to negotiate lower drug prices was tried to stop. The bottom line, all of this room, we're going to keep standing up for Big Pharma. I fought too damn hard to yield now. Get this. You may have heard about the MAGA Republican Project 2025. They want to repeal Medicare's power to negotiate drug prices. Let Big Pharma back to charge whatever they want. Let me tell you what our Project 2025 is. Beat the hell out of it. $2,000 cap covers everyone, not just seniors as well. Insulin costs us $35 for everyone, not just seniors. Our Project 25 will offer this going to cost for you, your family, instead of handing Big Pharma a big blank check. Look, and in the process, this is what we're going to talk about. In the process, we're going to save the taxpayer. The budget's going to be reduced by hundreds of billions of dollars. Hundreds of billions of dollars. That's the first year, the first thing we passed. $160 billion less that the government's going to have to pay out. Guess what? To pay out for education, to pay out for health care, to pay out for so much more, or it can just simply reduce the government's needs exposure. Folks, that's what I call a win. Folks, was more. My predecessor and his MAGA friends in Congress tried to repeal the Affordable Care Act. It was a different Obamacare. We tried to repeal it over 50 times. We stopped it. Along the way, I made the Affordable Care Act even stronger. Because a million more Americans are doing this position. Guess what? There's over 40 million. MAGA Republicans in Congress don't want to cut Medicare. They want to cut Medicare and Social Security. Why? They want to give another, here's what they're proposing. This shit they're proposing another $5 trillion tax cut for the MAGA Republicans. By the way, this guy we're running against, when he was president, he gave a $2 trillion tax cut to super wealthy. You know what that was? He generated the largest deficit any president has in American history. I love these Republicans talking about cutting spending. You know, there are 1,000 billionaires in America. You know what their average tax they pay is? 8.2%. Introduced the bill saying you got to pay a minimum 25%. You know what that would raise? $500 billion over the next 10 years. That's what we can do with that. Imagine the taxes because of ordinary people. Well, look, I'm alive veterans. We're going to protect Medicare and Social Security and make sure the wealthy pay their fair share. By the way, I'm going to get the tax code fair. Look, in addition, we're also now steps to crack down on anti-competitive practices. How many of you know we've been going after these called junk fees? Junk health insurance plans. And ones that look affordable. When you take the cover off, you find out that the number of hidden costs. We're going after them and trying to get rid of them. We're also cracking down on surprise medical billing. For example, when a patient goes to the hospital for surgery, it turns out his anesthesiologist is not in his network. You get a surprise bill for another $1,000. But we're stopping that too. We're protecting 1 million Americans every month from unexpected medical. We're working to ban the use of medical debt on credit reporting. Years ago, I had 2 craniotomies because I had aneurysm. My bill, if I didn't have insurance, was in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Guess what? It matters. It matters whether or not if I didn't have insurance for the rest of my life, I couldn't do anything. I wouldn't be able to buy anything. I wouldn't be able to have credit. I wouldn't be able to. Now, we're going to get rid of health care costs being on your debt still owe it. You don't have to get your credit cards. I'm a capitalist. I know all the companies making money. But not by price gouging seniors and working families. I grew up in a family where my dad used to say, Joey, a job is about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. About respect. I'm going to read this. This is what he said. My dad was a well-known guy. He got a chance to go to college and talk about what we need to do for ordinary, working, hard-working people. We changed the whole way we look at the economy. Used to be this idea of trickle-down economics, even Democrats have said it. Some Democratic presidents have said it. That if a wealthy makes a lot of money, it'll trickle down the rest. Well, I didn't notice a single penny trickle down my basket. Guess what now? We measure it in the following way. We build from the middle out and the bottom up, and if they do well, everybody does well. Any money I get to spend, the president and I spend it on being made in America by Americans. Americans don't like being paid for something. We believe we should be patient, but there should be reasonable profit, not unreasonable. Well, let me tell you this. It's all about health care. It's about lowering costs for families, about people like Judy and millions of Americans all across the country. That's exactly what we're doing. There's more we can do for everyone. We can't give up. They told me every major piece of legislation we passed to give us the strongest economy in history and the strongest economy in the world. We have more to do for working people. By the way, everybody does better when there's more unions. Can't stop now. Who the hell we are? We're the United States of America. There's nothing beyond our capacity in this country to work together. Nothing. Tell you what, I thank God that in the last 3 months I'm President of the United States, I was able to finally